got a bunch of these I got to do today.
No, it's no problem at all. No problem at all. Okay. All right, I'm rolling tape. So the first thing I wanted to get down to is I understand it by reading an article in Revolver magazine and the press release. The Second Down album was recorded in 28 days and was, let's just say, a lot of, I believe, over-the-counter drugs were used, enhanced. Now, what was your over-the-counter enhancement of choice?
Basically, that's just kind of like a little joke. We drank a lot of booze and whatever, and we found these yellow jackets, this trucker speed down the way, and tried those one night, and that was all she took. Trucker speed, you're up for like 3 days straight on just yellow jacket over the counter crap.
Now, I've seen different reports and read different stuff about the chaos surrounding the album, but in all honesty and all just how much of it was overblown and how much of it was just pure anarchy, putting you and yourself and your bandmates in different states of consciousness. How hectic was it?
Well, after a while, it wasn't like you could go home and just shake it off and come back to work the next day. We were out there living and breathing and eating the music 24/7. The poor engineer, the cat that was working for us, he barely got maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night because we were, somebody was always down there recording. So basically you could just find a place where you could sleep, and then as soon as you got up, you crack a tall, cold beer open and get to work.
Okay. Well, let's move towards the Down concert. It's being billed as an evening with Down. Can you explain that in some way so the fans can understand what an evening with Down means?
We've got this killer movie that goes on before. Instead of having opening bands and stuff like that, we've got a killer movie that you have to see. It's got snippets of us and then snippets of a whole lot of the influences that we've had over the years, and all like just killer old classic footage and stuff. And we just wanted it to be an evening with Down instead of having an opening band and all that kind of stuff. Make it more an event than just another band playing a strip mall.
Okay. How long do you think the band gets to play?
We play about anywhere from an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours.
Okay. Very, very good. I want to move towards your bandmate in Down and in Pantera, Phil. It's been no secret that in many reports he has used heroin in the past, and I don't know if he still does or not. But have you seen any or talked to him, or has he revealed any emotions to you about how the death of Lane Staley made him kind of think? Did he ever mention something about the heroin use?
No, I mean that's a blast from the past. Things have been so overblown, for years. I mean that has nothing to do with the Down music that we're playing. Mm-hmm. He's not on heroin. Lane Staley, that's no surprise that dude didn't die 10 years ago.
Right.
I mean, everybody knew that was coming.
Right. Well, no. I want to get clarification because you see different stuff and you always want to make sure. Let's move on to your other musical projects, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. You also do Is it Gasoline?
No, I'm not in that band.
That's not in your band. Okay.
That's Daryl.
Okay, that's Daryl. You are doing the project with your other Pantera bandmates with David Allan Coe?
Right.
Okay. Now, what I've heard that album's been recorded for 2 or 3 years. You're doing a little bit here, a little bit there. Any light of day for any music fans going to get to hear that?
Boy, I hope so. I think I think Vinny and Daryl have finally got the thing mixed, and hopefully we'll see that out shortly. I think we're kind of shopping it around to see what's going to happen with it. But that was like you said, it was recorded probably 3 years ago, and it's just taken. We've been working so hard with Pantera on the road and all. It's just hadn't seen the light of day yet.
Well, I hate to put it in categories, but what's the music kind of like?
It's kind of thrash metal meets country outlaw.
Okay.
Rebel meets rebel.
Okay, very good. And is that what the name of the project is? Rebel Meets Rebel?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I read that somewhere. All right, let's talk about you some more. In your off time, when you're not busy doing, Rebel Meets Rebel, Down, Pantera stuff, what do you do? What are your activities? How do you just get away from all the crap that is the music business?
I play a lot of golf.
Really?
Yeah.
That's I wish you could be down here this weekend. We're having our golf tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Wish I was too.
We're doing it down this Saturday at the quarry. But do you play a lot of Golden Tee?
Um, no, I hadn't played Golden Tee in a while.
Oh, okay.
We hadn't had any time to do that. I actually live on a golf course, and I was down. I think I had like a month off, with this little down thing before we hit the road, and I was down at Tapatía Springs, right there in your neck of the woods.
Right.
Went down there with a bunch of buddies and had a good time. It was a killer course.
Very good, good. What's your opinion on the state of rock and roll radio? Not the stuff you're hearing on radio or the stuff maybe that you're hearing around. What do you think about the current state of rock music?
I really don't think about it because that's what I do for a living. I don't have to. Number one, I don't listen to a lot of radio.
Mm-hmm.
You're out here on a bus 24/7. You don't get to you don't have a whole lot of places you can play it on. I just think that what Down is doing right now is relevant in today's scene because we know where the influence comes from. I'm not crazy about the new metal scene because I don't think there's anything new about it. I just think it's a new sound that these kids come up and they have one song and they're finished.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the luxury of being in two bands that are fairly successful is a plus and a luxury in my business.
Well, Down will be headlining the second stage of this summer's Ozzfest tour.
Correct.
Are you excited about being out there in the middle of the damn day and in the heat, especially being from Texas, the Texas heat, or would you rather be up on the main stage because it's a little bit more palatable that you can have air conditioning and fans?
No, I think this is a great slot for Down because a lot of kids wouldn't necessarily have the chance to get up close and see what we do in an intimate setting like that. And I think it's a great slot because a lot of kids haven't heard this kind of music, and it is, like I said, relevant today. And I think it's a great slot because, if we were on that main stage, we'd be playing at, Down is only, played, they played 9 shows the very first time they ever played together. So we want to just have as many kids see us as possible, and that's a great slot for that goal.
Well, it's definitely a lot of fans, of course, being Pantera fans as well.
Sure.
You get the curiosity. They get to see you and Phil maybe up close that maybe they haven't been able to do before.
Exactly.
And that's always a good thing. I've always thought that's great. Right now, getting away from rock radio, is there any music that you are aware of that maybe you would like to enlighten Down and Pantera fans about? Something that you would suggest that they go out and listen to that's some really good stuff out there that you're enjoying?
Nothing right now.
Okay.
Because I hadn't had a break since this last Pantera tour that when we toured 18 months on it, and I went directly into this Down project, so I really hadn't been listening to a whole lot of anything.
Okay.
No, there's not.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's great.
And it's hard, especially in this business. That's the last thing you kind of want to do on your time off. It's like you on your days off, you don't want to sit at your house and pretend you're on the radio.
No, and I don't listen to music on my days off.
Exactly.
I listen to talk radio. I do the same thing, so I'm just curious. How far along do you want Down to go? How far down the road?
I don't know. I think as long as the music is good and everybody, the 5 of us look at each other and go, man, this is killer.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it's all about anyway. Down is a jam band that just likes to jam together, but, when we started putting this record together, the songs took a life of their own, and we just, we said, well, fuck, we have to get out there and tour on this thing and do it right.
Right.
Because kids need to hear it.
Okay. My last question for you, and it has to deal with Pantera. Now, I read a quote, and it was actually printed today. Phil had made the comment, and his quote was, Dimebag needs to work some things out before they can be sorted out within the band. That was literally the whole quote.
Really?
Because there's been a lot of crap going around on the internet news services, not fan sites, but news services. Phil's in Pantera, Phil's out of Pantera. Phil makes a comment that, what the hell y'all talking about? I'm in Pantera. And then there's other comments like this that he says Dimebag needs to work some things out before things within the band can be sorted out.
I think things can be misconstrued into what they want to be. I think the speculation is always going to be there,
Mm-hmm.
Especially with a side project like this Down. And now that I'm in the band, You know, of course, everybody's breaking up and the whole deal. You will see another Pantera record.
Right.
You know, we needed to take a break anyway. So I don't know where that came from, but it doesn't sound right to me that Phil would say something like that in the press.
Right. Okay. No, that makes sense. I want to get that clarified and get it out there.
We're just taking a break, and this is the perfect opportunity for us to do the down thing. I mean, we've been working basically on this record, just jamming together since '98, and we just never could get the scheduling together to, I got in the band in '98 or whatever, and it just couldn't put the scheduling together to do it. And this was the right time for everybody to get it out of their systems,
Well, I think many fans are looking forward to the show, which will take place on May 23rd over at Sunset Station. So it should be a very good evening.
Stock up your coolers and come on out.
All right, very good. Hey, Rex, I thank you for your time today. I know you got other interviews to do, so I'm going to let you go do them. But look forward to seeing the band, and maybe we'll get to meet you on over at Sunset Station.
Let's do it, Chuck.
All right, man. Have a good day. Bye.
Outside the boundaries of their phony world of kicks is the ever-present possibility of discovery. This must be avoided at all costs, for discovery brings with it the penalties of society: shame, arrest, prison. Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville.